When the NCAA basketball tournament games tipped off last Thursday, Rick Pitino was sitting in a lounge chair on the patio of his palatial, waterfront home on a tiny island dubbed the Billionaire Bunker. He'd just finished a round of golf. His son, owner of a margarita salt company, watched the early games with him but left in the afternoon because his children were in the school play. Mary Poppins, Pitino's wife, went too, leaving him alone at home, where he watched the late games in bed. "I went to the rehearsal," Pitino said, in an apparent effort to head off any criticism of absentee grandfathering. It was Grandparents' Day. Pitino's celebrated tenure at Louisville ended last September amid accusations, in court documents sworn to by an FBI agent and approved by federal prosecutors, that he had knowledge of a $100,000 payment from Adidas to the father of a recruit. Since then, the 65-year-old coaching legend has been leading a quiet, inconspicuous life of quasi-retirement. He spends his days in the gym and on the golf course. He's been doing more reading. Concerned friends have sent along self-help books. When he wants solitude, Pitino takes his boat, the Floating Cardinal. "I know, I'm going to change the name," he said, on a short trek over to Shuckers, a dockside bar attached to the back of a Best Western where the locals tend to leave him be as he sits at the bar, orders a salad and watches a game. It's a life of extreme comfort, Pitino acknowledges. He's miserable. This is the first time he has been unemployed during the NCAA tournament since 2001 and just the second time since he graduated from college in 1974. After initially claiming he was done with coaching last fall, Pitino wants back in. "I miss it terribly," Pitino said. "I don't know how to explain it in words. There's just this emptiness." Last Friday, over a breakfast of oatmeal, blueberries and raisins at the Four Seasons here, Pitino discussed the FBI's investigation into college basketball for more than 2 hours, offering his most detailed explanation to date of the whirlwind recruitment of a player last summer that, on the heels of a prior scandal involving an assistant who hired strippers to entertain Louisville recruits, has threatened to end his career in disgrace. Pitino allowed a reporter to review what he and his lawyers said or transcripts of hundreds of text messages he exchanged with every major figure in the alleged pay-for-play scheme. Records, he says, he provided voluntarily to federal prosecutors in an effort to clear his name. At turns, defiant, combative and wounded, Pitino lashed out at federal prosecutors, whom he accused of including him in court documents for notoriety. "I'm not on any wiretap. There's not a shred of evidence that I did anything wrong. They basically blew up my life, for one reason, publicity," Pitino said. "I have my faults, like we all do, but I've never cheated to get a player," a spokesman for the U.S. Attorney's Office in the Southern District of New York declined to comment, and a spokeswoman for the FBI in New York did not respond to a request to comment. Whether Pitino can return to college coaching will hinge, in part, on whether he can convince someone that he's right, and the FBI and federal prosecutors are wrong. Pitino says he knew nothing about payments from an Adidas executive to a recruit's father. An aspiring NBA agent was lying when he claimed during a sting operation that Pitino was instrumental in arranging the payment, Pitino said. A Louisville assistant coach in the room during that same sting operation, according to the FBI, was there without Pitino's knowledge or approval, he said. It's similar to the explanation Pitino has offered since 2015, when a local escort alleged a Louisville assistant had paid her for years to bring strippers to a campus dormitory to entertain recruits. Pitino knows, to many, it strains credulity. "I hired the wrong people," he said. "I understand the perception. I have to take ownership, as the leader of the team. There's 2 assistant coaches who didn't do the right thing. But they were taught to do the right thing. But people just don't want to believe that." To Pitino's many disciples across the coaching community, pieces of the case against him don't add up. The aspiring NBA agent has credibility issues. He made similar claims on wiretapped phone calls, they note, about Miami coach Jim Larinaga, who also has not been charged with a crime and also has adamantly denied allegations. And then there's the pride Pitino derives from his reputation as a coach who doesn't need to cheat or chase one-and-done NBA lottery picks, because he can mold modestly talented teams in championship contenders. "It would shock me. I just couldn't fathom that he would arrange for someone to pay a player," said Ralph Willard, former head coach of Holy Cross who also served as an assistant to Pitino at Kentucky and Louisville. "It was always really important to him that nobody in his program broke the rules. Now, every paper you look up, he's the biggest cheater in the world. It's unbelievable." The recruitment that would become the centerpiece of a sprawling FBI investigation began with a text message Pitino received just before 9:30 p.m. Last May 23, Coach, this is Christian Dawkins. I dealt with you on Jalen Johnson. Would you have an interest in Brian Bowen, or are you done recruiting? Dawkins, 24, is a Michigan native who had acquired a reputation as a bit of a hustler as he tried to break into the NBA agent industry by working as a runner. In 2016, Cleveland-based International Management Advisors sued NBA agent Andy Miller because, according to a complaint, Dawkins had been working as a runner for both at the same time, charging more than $60,000 in travel expenses to IMA while he actually steered clients to Miller. The agent